They demanded I move my boat. She had no idea I own the lake and control every dock permit. The lake was my sanctuary, a mirror of peace carved into the earth, its waters holding memories of my father teaching me to fish, his rough hands guiding mine. I'd inherited it years ago, along with the responsibility to manage its docks and permits. My name, Jacob Harrow, was on every legal document tied to this land, though I kept that quiet. To the town, I was just Jake, the guy with the old boat and the weathered cap, content to cast lines at dawn. But peace, I learned, invites chaos when entitlement comes knocking. It started on a warm July evening, the kind where the air hums with cicadas and the water glows gold. I was tying my boat, the Dawn Treader, to my dock when Karen stormed down the path. Her designer sunglasses glinted, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "Move your junk heap," she snapped, gesturing at my boat like it was an insult to her existence. "This dock is for residents, not some scruffy fisherman." Her daughter, Emily, trailed behind, maybe 16, clutching a notebook, her eyes darting nervously between us. I stayed calm, wiping sweat from my brow. "Ma'am, this is my dock. Been mooring here for years." Karen scoffed, her manicured nails flashing as she waved a hand. "Don't lie to me. I'm on the homeowner's board. I'd know if you had a permit." Her confidence was a blade, slicing through reason. She didn't ask for proof. She demanded obedience. Emily shifted uncomfortably, her gaze fixed on the water, as if she wanted to vanish into it. I could have shown her the permit then, but something in her sneer made me pause. I'd seen her type before, people who thought money and status owned everything, even kindness. "I'll check with the lake authority," I said evenly, knowing full well I was the authority. Karen smirked, triumphant. "You do that, and move your boat by morning, or I'll have it towed." She spun on her heel, leaving Emily to linger a moment, her lips parting as if to speak, but she followed her mother silently. The next day, word spread. Karen had rallied half the lakeside community, spinning tales of a squatter clogging their pristine docks. By noon, a small crowd gathered, neighbors I'd known for years, now eyeing me like I'd trespassed on their dreams. Karen stood at the forefront, a queen commanding her court. "We deserve better," she declared. "This lake is for us, not drifters." The crowd murmured agreement, though some looked uneasy. Emily stood at the edge, her notebook clutched tighter, her face pale. I stepped forward, permit in hand, and the air shifted. "Karen," I said, loud enough for all to hear, "I don't just have a permit. I own this lake. Every inch of it. Every dock. Every permit runs through me." Her jaw dropped, but I wasn't done. "You've been docking your yacht without approval for months. I let it slide, thinking you'd learn some decency. Guess I was wrong." The crowd gasped, eyes darting between us. Karen's face reddened, her voice a hiss. "You're lying. You're nobody." That's when Emily spoke, her voice trembling but clear. "He's not lying, Mom." All eyes turned to her. She held up her notebook, pages filled with sketches of the lake and notes from her school project on local history. "I researched it. Jacob Harrow owns this land. His family's had it for generations." The crowd fell silent, Karen's authority crumbling like dry sand. Emily's eyes met mine, a flicker of apology in them, and I realized she'd known the truth all along but feared her mother's wrath. The twist wasn't Emily's courage, though that hit hard. It was Tom, the quiet groundskeeper who'd tended the lake's paths for decades. He shuffled forward, his voice low but steady. "Jake's dad saved my life once," he said, eyes on the ground. "Pulled me from the water when I was a kid. Jake never asks for thanks, but he's kept this lake open for everyone, even when folks like you," he glanced at Karen, "treat him like dirt." The crowd's murmurs turned to whispers of shame. Tom's words weren't just a defense. They were a mirror, forcing everyone to face their quick judgments. Karen tried to rally, stammering about community standards, but the fight was gone. The crowd dispersed, some offering me quiet apologies. Emily stayed, her mother pulling her away, but not before she slipped me a sketch from her notebook, a drawing of my boat, serene against the lake's horizon. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I nodded, my throat tight. She wasn't her mother, but she'd carry that weight. I could have revoked Karen's permit, banned her yacht, but I didn't. The lake was for everyone, even those who didn't deserve it. Instead, I posted a public notice listing every permit holder name at the top, undeniable. Karen never returned to the dock. Word was she sold her yacht, moved to a gated community where she could control her own kingdom. Emily, though, started volunteering at the lake, her sketches now decorating the community board I'd set up for local kids. But the victory felt hollow. Owning the lake didn't erase the sting of being seen as less, of neighbors turning on me at a stranger's word. It wasn't about the boat or the dock. It was about trust, fractured by entitlement and rebuilt by truth, however bitter. The lake still sparkled, but its reflection held a new weight, a reminder that kindness can be a heavier burden than justice. What would you have done? Stood your ground or walked away, knowing the cost of proving you're right?